Hi all, I'm rounding off my time with Westerado, and I decided just to put together a little behind the scenes video so that you could see sort of what tools we use to make the game and what we could actually see going on and how it's put together. I'm just going to take you through a couple little things here. So right off the bat we've got a couple screens going here. First we've got the game running, we've got on the left we've got the deputy, which keeps track of all the variables in the game. And on the right, we've got the Gunversationist. Now, the Gunversationist is how we wrote all the conversations in the game and scripted it. So that's the first thing we're going to take a look at. Now, on the left, you see a little intro text, and that's this first green dot. Green dots are starting points of conversations. In this case, we're also using a conversation for the intro text. And then these lines are the options. In this case, the player doesn't have any options. They're all automated, and they're linked to specific variables, depending on which character you're playing as. This one's for the classic hero. This next one's for the brother character. The third one's the sister, and the fourth one is as the Native American character. Now, we're playing as the sister, so that's the only option available to us. That's why it's highlighted in red. Now when we press E at this point, we see on the bottom left that a lot of variables have been updated, and if we look at this dot, we'll see what all is going on. So we've got a lot of replacement variables here for since we're playing as the sister, and this is replacing a lot of different references that will be to the character. For instance, him becomes her, he becomes she, woman becomes man. We've set a variable here for the uncle. Man becomes woman and his becomes her. Now this is by no means all the words that get replaced in the game. In fact, these are only specific words that I want to replace in specific places because they're used so often not in reference to the player. So in the few cases that they are in reference to the player, I want to be able to label them specifically. Now we're going to move on through the intro, and we see the only variable updating in deputy is talk. That's the amount of times you've talked in a conversation, and we see a journal pop up here. You see journal is journal number 400, and reason we have the journals numbered is so that we can put all the journals in one place. In this case, that's a spreadsheet, and we can search through them all and make sure that they're all lined up, and if anything changes, if any quest has been updated and the journal entries need to be changed, then they're all in one place and we can make sure that they're all working properly. Now the final dot in this introductory text is a blue dot. That's the end of the conversation, and we can see in it that there is a hint. The hints refer to the main bad guy in the game, and they give some detail about what he looks like. In this case, it looks like Sister Hat Hint 1. This gets replaced by another string from another spreadsheet, so let's take a look. Apparently had a hat with a hat being a hat brim noun, and that's always seen. Those are two variables that link to another spreadsheet. So in our game we procedurally generate the murderer, the bad guy of the game, so that each time he looks different, and that's why we have this set up, so we can replace those two variables with, in this case, an A or an and then a flat brim, an edged brim, or no brim, depending on which hat he has. So now let's find out which hat he has in this playthrough of the game. Apparently had a hat with an edged brim, and that's always seen. So here, see, an edged brim, it's one of these four hats. And I should mention the reason A or an is separate from the edged brim is because depending on the grammatical structure, we might not want to have that A or N. So, for instance, if you want to have his edge brim hat cast a shadow over his dark red jacket, then you have to be able to remove that A or N. That's how we do it. Now, aside from the details of the murder, the hints each character gives are also procedurally generated. That's why they're also in a spreadsheet, except for in a few cases, of course, for instance, this one, when we need to give out a specific hint, but it's best to keep it all in one place. Okay,